Good morning to one and all present in this lecture. I would like to continue with previous class. In previous class, we have discussed about George Gordon Byron's poem There is a Pleasure in the Pathless Woods. In first class, we have discussed about the introduction of J.G. Byron, introduction about the poem, the theme, the summary, J.G. Byron's personal life. After that, we also studied the first three stanzas of George Byron. George Gordon Byron is one of the poet who claims by himself that the Child Herald Pilgrimage, which was written in 1812 to 1818, and which made him, to say Byron, famous almost overnight because of the publication of the Canto Fourth. George Gordon Byron has a fascinating image towards nature and the sea. Byron, as a poet of the sea, always smarting under a sense of injury and being obsessed by inferiority complex because of his deformed foot, he was lump. Byron preferred to live in solitude because of his nature. He explained that it is not out of any hatred of the society of man, but is due to his love of nature. He feels that he is more in common with all pervading spirits of God when he is all alone by himself on the land or sea. He addresses the dark blue sea, the Mediterranean Sea, with its roaring and barking waves. The succession of the seas coursing across the vast expanse does not affect it in the last. Men may mark and produce changes, havoc, destruction on the surface of the earth, but cannot or can do no such things on the sea. On the other hand, the sea can wreck man's petty ships, can drown him in the depth. Man cannot mark out and cultivate the sea, for it will dash him up and down with its might. The great gun which shakes the shelter of the city walls, the huge ships which man built to sail the sea, are mere toys when the might of the ocean entraps them, when it settles war as it did against the Spanish Armada and the Battle of Trafalgar. The ocean has witnessed the rise and fall of the great empires such as Assyria, Greece, Rome, Carthage. They have gone, but the ocean remains unchanged. Their strength has vanished, while that of the ocean is unaltered, unalterable. The might of the ocean reveals the power of the God, both in its calm and boisterous, frozen and fluid condition. Great monsters are created in its depth, and all of them are under God. Byron loved the ocean from his very childhood. He, he loved to lie in, or to say, he loved to lie on the surface of the ocean, and he wanted to be one of the most charioted person who can enjoy the sea, and he wanted to ride the seashores. Now, as I told you, I have given the detailed description about the previous three stanzas. Now, come on the fourth one. The armaments which thunder strikes the wall of rock-built cities, bidding nations quake, and monarchs trembles in their capitals. The oak Leviathan, whose huge ribs makes their clay creator the vain title take, the lord of thee and arbiter of war. These are thy toys, and as the snowy flakes, they melt into thy waves, which mar alike Armada's pride or Spanish Trafalgar. The armaments, the weapons which thunder strikes the wall, can turn into havoc towards the रॉक बिल्ट वॉल्स, मनुष्य के द्वारा बनाए गए हथियार जो बहुत मजबूती से बने हुए जो दीवारें हैं, प्राचीर हैं, किले हैं, उनको वेरी क्विकली, वेरी स्पीडी लाइक थंडर स्ट्राइक, बिजली की भांति वो उनको तुरंत प्रभाव से विनाश कर सकते हैं. ऑफ रॉक बिल्ट सिटीज बिडिंग नेशन क्यू कैंट दे जस्ट, और इस विनाश को देख करके, इस हवक को देख करके द नेशंस begin to tremble, and monarchs tremble in their capitals. Monarch, the kings, the rulers of the city began to tremble to see दिस हैवोक. इस विनाश को देख करके वो राष्ट्र जो है कांपने लग जाते हैं. उनके जो 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 सम्राट हैं, उनके जो किंग एंड क्वींसेस हैं, वो शहरों में आतंकित रहते हैं. द ओक लेविथियन हुज रिब्स मेक their clay creator the vain title take. The oak leviathan is a name of a tree. बलूत का पेड़ होता है जिससे कि बिग शिप्स को मेक किया जाता है. तो मैन जो कि बहुत बड़े बड़े स्पेनिश आर्माडा जो थे, उस टाइप के शिप्स को, टाइटैनिक शिप्स को मैन अपने हाथों से बना करके ही थिंक्स टू बी, क्या करने लग जाता है, देयर क्ले क्रिएटर द वेन टाइटल टेक, अपने आप को एक सम्राट की भांति समझने लगता है. अपने आप को ही थिंक्स टू बी वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट किंग ऑफ दैट जॉन. और नो डाउट दीज शिप्स आर द डिसिसिव, और टू से द निर्णायक जो भूमिका निभाते हैं ऑफ लॉर्ड्स ऑफ दी एंड आर्बिटर ऑफ वार. आर्बिटर ऑफ वार निश्चित रूप से जो वार होता है उसके अंदर वो अपनी भूमिका को निभाता है, यानी कि मनमानी करता है. लॉर्ड ऑफ दी जो इनके मालिक होते हैं, तो वो अपने वेन टाइटल ले लेते हैं कि अब हमसे और कोई स्ट्रॉन्ग शक्तिशाली व्यक्ति इस जहन में नहीं है. These are thy toys. What all these are? These are nothing. These all are thy toys. Human being, man think that he is the king. He availing some sort of strong Spanish armada or the so called the ships he had, or to say he has been, or he had availed some sort of the powerful ships, and now he declared himself to be a king of that particular zone. But what all they are, for they are, or these things for the sea is nothing. It's all these are toys. मेंस आर्मामेंट्स जो हम बात करते हैं, जिनकी थंडर स्ट्राइक की बात की थी हमने, जो रॉक बिल्ट सिटीज़ को वो फोर्टिफाइड कर देते हैं, एंड द किंग्स एंड क्वींस बिगेन टू ट्रेम्बल इन देयर कैपिटल्स. Massive loss can they, or they, some sort of an havoc they can beams, or to make their punny, to say the builder claims to be the lord of that particular sea. And no doubt these the ships are the decisive in the war. All these are nothing to the sea. The king, queens all thought that this is the status symbol, but for sea all these are nothing, except all these are toys, nothing. And if ocean want, it can easily destroy within a blink of eye, like flakes of the snow. They melt into the east of the waves. How they melt? Like a flake of the snow, they melt into the white foam of the waves, which mar alike the armada's pride. And the sea waves can equally well ruin the pride of the Spanish armada, or the issue of the sea battle of the Trafalgar, the spoil of the Trafalgar. The Trafalgar is one of the well-known, to say, battle that was fought between the British under Nelson, the 27 ships, and the French, Spanish fleets under Vengeance of the Cape Trafalgar on October 1805. When the battle was on its height, Nelson received his mortal wound. 15 of the enemy ships were captured, and these must be the spoils of Trafalgar, but the captured enemy and ships were not safely conveyed to the England. कि इतना हैवोक मचाने के बाद भी, इतना सब कुछ करने के बावजूद भी इंग्लैंड ने जो सब कुछ गेन किया था उसको वो लेकर के वापस नहीं जा सका. तो टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक कि ह्यूमन बीइंग अपने आप को सो कॉल्ड घमंड में चूर होकर के बात करता है कि मैं इन सब को नष्ट कर सकता हूँ, बट ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द सी हिज ऑल स्टॉप्स टुगेदर. Thy shores are empire. Look at the poet greatly here, giving a great description कि how the shores of the sea are great. Thy shores are empire. Thy shores are empire. The poet says that the great empires were built on the shores of the ocean. Change in all save thee. All empires on the earth undergone into the change in many respects, but still the empire of the ocean is unchanged. It has undergone, to say there is no change, still it is the same. The empire of the ocean had been unchanged till now. He also gave the great culture, civilization, and to say the empires, Assyria, Greece, Rome, Carthage, what are they? ये सारी इतनी ग्रेट सभ्यताएं हैं, एसीरिया, ग्रीस, रोम, कार्थेज, जो कि अपने ज़माने में उन्होंने बहुत उस फ्रीडम को एंजॉय किया. अपने ज़माने में, अपने टेन्योर में इट वाज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पावरफुल एंड the selective empires in the world. But what now they are? They all have been destroyed. All the empires on the earth gone undergo the changes. Uh, all these Assyria, Greece, Rome, Carthage, all lost their empires, all lost their freedom. These empires became great by their extensive commerce, of which the sea were the path. They were using sea as their pathway to trade, and they became one of the richest empires. Even when these empires were enjoying their the national independence, they were wasted or were subject to ravage to commit the oceans, and since the time they lost their nation's liberty, men's tyrannical rulers waste them. They have been the subject to the sway of the foreign slaves, barbarian rulers, and so on. All those, huh? The water washed the water washed them power while they were free. Water has destroyed everything when they were free. They were enjoying their independence, and many a tyrant since देयर शोर्स ओबे. एंड उसके बाद से लेकर के अब तक जितने भी शक्तिशाली और कहा जाए कि जो अत्याचारी शासकों ने उन्हें मतलब जो असीरिया, ग्रीस, रोम, कार्थेज जो अपनी स्वतंत्रता को पूरी तरीके से हेल्ड कर रहे थे, एंजॉय कर रहे थे, अब उनकी जो थी उनको अत्याचारी शासकों के द्वारा सम शॉर्ट ऑफ टू से द टू से सब्जेक्ट टू द स्वे ऑफ द फॉरेन स्लेव्स एंड बारबेरियन रूलर्स के द्वारा उनको मतलब उनके ऊपर जंगली शासकों का या जंगली जातियों का आधिपत्य हो गया. द लॉस्ट देयर power, their empire, their military power, their political power, everything they lost. And what happened? What they become? Look at the stranger, slave or savage, their decay has dried up the realm of to destroy. Desert, not so thou. They neglected agriculture and these countries were turned into desert. It is not so with the ocean. Everything have been dried up. The realm to the desert, not thou so. There is no change into the sea. Unchangeable, save to thy wild waves play. You have बीन अनचेंज. आपके अंदर किसी तरीके का कोई चेंजेज नहीं है. नो साइन ऑफ ओल्ड एज और डिके लेफ्ट by the time on the blue watery surface of the ocean. The only change which the ocean is subject in the movement of the unruly waves of to say the rise, sometimes it rise, sometimes they come. Except this change, there is no change in the ocean. The ocean is so little subject to change that is or that rolls now in same manner as it did at the creation of the man. Time writes no wrinkle on the azure brow. Time writes no wrinkles, no any marks on the face or forehead of the ocean. It is unchanged. It is playful. The movement of the wild waves are still the same as it have been earlier. Time does not leave any wrinkle or to say any wrinkle of the age on the blue face of the ocean. Thine azure brow, blue face of the ocean. Still they have no change in on the surface of the ocean. Time does not leave any wrinkle on the blue face. It rolls on just as it did between dawn creation, such as creation dawn beheld the rollest now as you were. Still you have no change. आपके अंदर किसी तरीके का कोई परिवर्तन नहीं है. इसकी जो लहरों की चाल है, sometimes waves are too high, sometimes they are काम इतना सा परिवर्तन है, इसके अलावा स्टिल यू आर द सेम। मानव जाति ने कितने ही जन्म लिए, आया और चला गया, अपनी लहरों की चाल के चेंज के सिवा देयर इज़ no change in the Mediterranean Sea. Time writes, or to say time is unable to write the wrinkles on the face of the blue face of the Mediterranean Sea. सृष्टि के beginning से लेकर के right from today still there is no change. Student, I would like to stop this class right now. In next class we will go with the next stanza from the 6th to. Till then, bye bye. Thank you. You listen so patiently. If you have any doubt, query, questions, you can write me, and I will try to give the best solution of it. Thank you for being with me.